Okay, today I'm going to be making guards for the outriggers on my 260 backhoe. When I first got the tractor with the backhoe, I thought to myself that these outriggers, the cylinders aren't protected, and wondering if that's going to be a problem or not. And I should have listened to my instinct, but I didn't. I started using it and started working with it. Well, on the weekend I was pulling some more rocks with it, and I had a big rock just sort of snuck out of the hole on me a bit, and it rolled over as it got to the level ground. It rolled over and landed right on top of the cylinder, and it put a mark on the cylinder here and at the edge, which is not no big deal, but it also put marks into the cylinder on the shaft over here, and further down it took a nick out of the shaft over here, and so now that's gonna probably start leaking, and I'm more than likely down the road gonna have to change out the cylinder. And that's simply because these things aren't protected. So I quit. Obviously I quit that day pulling rocks, and I decided, well, I have to do something about this because this is no good. I'm gonna land up replacing cylinders constantly because I've sure got a lot of rocks to pull around here. So I came up with an idea, and I got some materials, and today I'm going to put it all together. And I'll show you the material here. Okay, so this is the material I'm going to be using. This is 6 by 6 by a quarter wall, and there are two of them. There are 36 inches, 3-foot sections, so one for each side. 2 bolts. These are 1/2 inch by 7 inches with nylon locking nuts on the end, and 2 jack handles, and the bolts are going to fit right inside here. These are going to be my hinges, and you'll see how it goes together here. And that's all about it. Can of black paint here. So I'm going to cut the metal with a plasma cutter into the different sizes that I need, and show you that as I go. Okay, got my plasma cutter hooked up, plugged in. I'm using a old-fashioned transformer-based plasma cutter. This thing's like a tank. Turn it on here. I'm cutting quarter plates. I'm going to turn it up to 50 amps. Sorry about the lighting in here, it's kind of crappy. So I got my metal set up outside. I've got a straight edge here, and what I'm doing is I've got the 6 by 6, and I'm going to cut the welded side. I'm going to cut it right out, so I'm going to land up with a U-shaped piece, and then this will be my extra piece that I don't use for this, but I'll be able to use the metal for other applications. And I use the straight edge to get a nice straight cut. piece. So I'll do the same thing with the other one here. Okay, my next step, out of the metal that I just finished cutting out of the 6x6, I'm going to cut some strips now. I set this up in my bandsaw, and I'm going to cut 1 3/4 strips. Length is just perfect. So I'm going to cut 8 pieces total, 1 3/4 wide. Okay, just to speed up the process, I ended up digging out my cut off my chop saw and cut off another 4. So I've got the last one cutting on the bandsaw. So I've got 4 on the bandsaw, 4 on the chop saw. That'll be close enough. Next I need 2 pieces which are 1 1/8 wide. So I'll go ahead and cut those. Okay, on 4 of the pieces, the 1 3/4 inch pieces, just on the inside I ground a little bit of the weld off here, because that's the weld where it was joined, just because I don't want to get things too tight in there. I've got my other little pieces 1 1/8 cut. And now we go to the next step. I'm going to tack things together here. I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I got my 1 1/8 pieces here. What I'm going to do is I'm tacking them right in the middle here. And I'll put the other one on top. And so what it's doing is it's going to create sort of like a H channel iron. So yeah, I'm just going to tack them, and then we'll make sure everything's going to fit before I weld them up. Today, it's all 1/4 inch material, but today I'm just going to use short circuit transfer. It doesn't need to be that strong. So yeah, just a traditional short circuit transfer with my MIG here. Okay, I've got my H pieces tacked here. I haven't welded anything yet. Next thing I want to do is make sure they're going to fit here. I'll just set that down there, and I'm going to pull the pin here on the pad, and these pieces are going to have to fit inside this 2x2 square tube. So set that down there, and we'll see if they fit. Yeah, really tight. I'm gonna have to do a little trimming by the looks of it. See, we want to keep these pieces open so that crud can sort of fall through in that. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to trim it out a bit. A little bit of sanding and grinding, so yeah, I think what I'll do, it's really close, so nice snug fit is alright. But yeah, I'll have to trim up all the edges because the edge is square and the tubing is just slightly rounded, so it's just a matter of trimming up the edges. That's alright. So that'll work. Same as the other one. So I'll go ahead and do that next. Okay, so I've got my pieces welded up. Here's my H channel that I made, and then my other 1 3/4 piece here, and then the other one across here. So one for each side. And how this is going to work is very simple. There's no I'll paint these up first before I totally assemble it, but these fit into the 2x2 square tubing here now, so they're going to sit above the cylinder, and this is where this be like a guide where the U plate will just slide back and forth on this side, and all that holds them in back on the bottom is these pins again. So when I put my bottom piece on, then they can't come out. Basically they'll sit in here, no drilling, and I still got enough space in here to let the crap through if, you know, stuff gets in there. So yeah, that part's done. I just got to paint those up now, and then I can assemble this bottom part again, and it's all done.